me no interview bia no ba ha ye ka ho sem sa na otwe no Ghana ha we no interview bia no na otwe no and a radio stations in the ka ho asem
I wish that na mo twitwa no say no headline we
your last interview I yenye bi ma fe no oba I think the following day or two no and the papers front page ni na let them omo me the credits be my me dey na fa no ho omo man fa my so ye na busa but na microphone is you anyway we say a branding radio
yeah branding
and no one expose you
oh da ya
enti omo ye na no ye hwia enyi akra every no code here set bibia boko there
ami adom bibia ye boko na de ntia ene madile 1 hour no eto da bia mo advertise time no e flyer no so ba e beba na munwie ready na ma better say enti no so me brave pa say
I see
me frefum ne ba direct
na me monitor
e ba akra from na jono na dia no pa sumi san ko ba bi enti na I had to there agreement da hon enti kanye no anka memba enti we say me do ho kakra na farm
and na nyade but you say the few mame me ko ba bi na me ni obi din command say kwasi na abanya bai mo papa o ye modan and am say ye ja no hwan what's na nye general and I'm the general no only president nana enti obi a wo mu say go do watching the team no there bi Kenya ba any general mosquito and na you because general is mo papa anytime bi am one not here enti akra yes what you want to preko be say ja no enti ye be so mo da
mo nyanya green paper no if you want to be yellow.
And the yellow paper no.
Yellow paper.
Green paper dey be my ha. So far green paper no. Send on the two way. Nancy so the two way. See green paper dey nya bi. The go ya go near mama yellow paper near
yellow paper.
Yellow paper just you to kwan yo.
You mate.
Akra ye be come kakra. You started from the MMDC's appointment. Me kai say obaye na mosimugo ahoboaso a mo ye interviews na de ade. So far I ain't found modru because man release some regions. Akam akakakra akam. I ain't found modru na da ben na yakam no so ba.
Yo, me da say. Machi atiefo. Na oka say mo release ya. Obi ba na dwen say ye na ye point DC for.
Okay.
Present ya release bi.
Okay.
And akabi.
Okay.
Yende pa na omusuma say ye medi. Na ye two present for. Because to me no kuta no say ono na nominated DC for. Enunti ono so oye nyina ye pani no ono so ohwe mu na opa oye ba sonko se sa nipa nson yi momo amena muntume fo kwan ya mefa so appointed DC4.
Okay.
And ho adwuma ne akoye.
Na
ya ye awie e de ni nyina akoma no. Enti sa brede se afutu onye ni nyina na yefa. Bi wo ha na ya reject bi wo ha na yafa. Enu nti e nyina ye hwa ni mu se afutu no emu de ho hen na ode aye adwuma emu de ho hen na omfanya adwuma. Na enti eho ne yewo oman no mo bia dia dance say yewo 261 districts and municipalities.
Okay.
And unti ya ye 258.
My 258. There's a car 3
no. Aya dia ye ya sheda atwen asan.
Okay.
Say ye hwehwe niema bi mu.
Okay.
Nti 258 no de ya wie asensan report no nyina de akoma mampani. Nti emu na wadika na so bi. na ebisuaka and nti ho ne was abre.
I see. But so far, Niamwa announced an endorsement, say because last said 2-3 days ago, in your report from Asin Fusu, say one nominee be on Mampani Boni, one Charlotte Boache, if Mekani Dina, out of 22 votes on 5. So far, reporter Manya encouraged in terms of Mampani, Mobile Juma Mampani, and your foot to the commands of the final. Finalist in the bar endorsement, Sena muhuno.
So far the uyi sa asin central the free mo.
Yes.
Obia ni ho awa feel.
Okay.
Nti we so far no ho kwa ne anya ho report. Na majority of the womo endorse no nyina ye 100%. Nti akade akabat Osha regions no ye dunsia. And president ye release ebi. And koka miensa.
Okay.
President say wa release du miensa. And koka miensa. Miensa no kind there 1 2 3 there obeka se wo ene akaka krem. But no ne regions akese.
Akese no.
Regions akese miensa. Aboa ososo na ne momaso. Enti aka Ashanti, Eastern and Greater Accra. Sa regions miensa in the final report. 0.5. Nti ehwe ni mu say president ubehwehwem. E say said the yasi ahihye niema no obi a cheke obi. Enti de ya wie no kra no Nigiri say president subefa akire a cheke ya adwuma no ahwe say eno nso ekoyia ansa na ono nso de ni stamp wasi so. Nti em say ho ne wo sabre.
Okay. Were you satisfied with the Juma region here, you know? In a sense, obi wo house obekọ vetting yitimi hwe dem so kwasi bo ache wo de see ni mudada o na ata host general no say Juma no metimi ayo metimi nyu kwasi ko but emna na the final 3 no na nipa na nkwanko piem na akwa bibia elhonom to the extent that I know say petitions outdoor and I'm receiving such cases no send am handle na bio. There are some some chiefs oko ayinbia yes oh you per indigene obi okra me de me ba but I know say the day be our kind Dimitri say Juma de ye share competence and character say issues no fan say
yo mendasi on say President Mahama Bayino o he said there o security ministry no
yes
e share local government no so or pay inclusiveness at the base. We say we create local government here. We chieftaincy ministry mu at the Abeka and we koyi religious affairs so free say culture mu at the Abeshe ho internet say o pese ehemfo sorry for any local government for the saying local structures assemblies near yinya omo yetimi ya adwuma bom omo so adwene bom yetimi nti yeso ye hyase no ye conscious of sa intention of the president and the adwuma no ye nyi obi amfim yetie obi a no asem ebe ye input into that decision making. By taking decision, no, we hold ourselves responsible for decision you take.
Okay.
Nti I don't know. I'm saying shasi ana ye nyina ye beti asia na tiefo be appreciate.
Okay.
President Efrayen na oni ni minister eko di wo mutri eko sai ho. Na omo Efrayen ni panson.
Okay.
Say pese of the year committee na yetimi ko so adwene na yeboa no na ye de identify nipa ye de wo mo ye DC a ebeboa na o he nipa nso no a wo mo yi ye no a me say president dwene ho obi a wo de nti a ho de no bebata ho
okay
o sha MP fo wom Council of State ni wom, former ministers of local government, and so wom, and na pani nipa wo so free ni office house atamu a mo ye in charge of governance almost so wom. Ti o ha Petrus avoka oye until say Ojaya Bafie no one of the 2 longest serving members of parliament here Ghana anya womo eno nti ono so the regional minister da na okan committee no obeka say President Mahama first time no kra no oka anyansafo miensa no 3 wise men bagben ni ET mensa ni ono kletu saboka nti no kan ena yenu amba Valerie Soya ono so ena ye in charge of governance ni and their owo president office.
Okay.
Eno nti ono so no eka ho ena esan yi honorable Bejira ono so ye MP ono so ache wo parliament am say 5 times or so. Ono so san ye the caucus leader for voter MPs na e de no kan ho na o san yi honorable na momo na we minister of gender na yi so ono so wadi DC no bida.
I see.
Asan aye nalag general secretary so da na ono so nalag no local government the assemblies nyina yeku a ewo Ghana no waye hu wo monkambo munku waye mu general secretary dan to no so nim decentralization in and out ya de no kan ho na afi yi kantinka Collins Dauda sa atamui ono na the longest serving member of parliament ono so aye minister for local government da
experience no
ti ono so wo experience and e de ono so kan ho and afi me general secretary ono so waye MP da aye minister da na de ne ono na ye general secretary or chief executive for her party no so ono so e kan ho and na me e de me da no as the chairman of the committee. Enunti sa nipai o hwe sa group no a obia ni ho a usisi no a eyeye obia so ni ho a obeteki decision bia enye based on rationality. So enya nipa obia be arrive at a decision is a why rational analysis ya na ko conclude baby entino enyina so first class debaters obi a che na dwen say me susu say we ni na we susu say we so obi a ni ho a o mrese yetimi ebetwa fa ne so ena yakan bom ena obi a so nipa nson no emu nsia obi a wo parliamentary experience.
I see.
Me ma di 12 years for parliament. Na intimate
apart from Valerie, right?
Apart from Valerie,
yes.
But also the experience and in governance. And you know, first class lawyer, that is the group wa ya kotrans nti ya dwen say ye beye adwuma ebeboa na tofa pempapa de ama President Mahama na bai no if say dia bia ebebu a na efiri ne hini nti aban bia begina efiri grassroots.
I see.
Nti say etimi toto grassroots ho nsem na egina ne na so a egiri say aban no betimi agina ne na so ena ya nye na confusion si ewo form ho a eno na be affect aban no nti say ye be kan nokre ama ye nyame ene ye man na ye de perpere ye ayesa adwuma no na me kan ye conscious so say obi a ebia onya o ma me yi a obekwa akobro asɛ no no ono na ede nsa no hye ne nsa ono na
obenum nsa na asɛ no no
now the nsa no agya no ɛsɛ obi foforo bɛpɛ nsa no a ono na yi ma no no atwere na ade nti oni adagya ode bɛboro oboro a asɛm bɛba so ndonya but enti ye point this year they bɛba if from ho enti ye involve from ho no first ne mfamra so and na yeso ye conscious so say decentralization and crossing amamuo no eye the best system because no netimi eje ododo no nyina dwene na etimi kwa amamuo no but e wo danger wom danger ne say who decentralize na wantimi anye monitoring any coordination anaki ne besi so obi abe de ope enti who decentralize no na che say bibi so wo ho a edi akira ahwese obi a ne tumi a wo de amano no o de sa tumi no be ya adwuma wo ne kwan so and nti e say sa appointment no ye be decentralize obi a view bebam but ye sign e hihye checks and balances bia emma obi a mfa ne pe a enye oman no enkan konti emfa nkonkoye adwuma wo no say or satisfy or no ni personal bibi na kofa asema abreye nyina enunti yema general secretary trelete ekoma all the constituencies say ya bie kwan enunti obia wa ankasa ukari wo hwehwe say udi disi no bia ebe yie no na share application na fabra abeka se me asumasi mpese mdidisi enti ya establish limit bia se ana ya nkyere mu se nipa asumasi na o apply a eyi na we ni amakwan se on apply
educational background
party ni bia wa kari ho ahwe
so obetimi
adidisi Fadimbra. Na nkwa se na mpese meye bi na yese ya ama me kwan no ne manti ye receive applications no. Nti ba bi wo ho bebre 24 15 30 ni nyina ase monyemra. Nti wo moje ye no. Ene esan ka se region fo mo na mo hwe region no so. Nti montu nkonwa na monhwe sa applications ye beba no. Na monso ne so na munyi mu miensa pe emfamra national enti kwanya mbefa so asonso no yenye mamu bi mo monso na eho asemba mo na mo be ya no anema o muso so ne so ade miensa ebae na me ka say decentralization I say monitoring and coordination bamu no yehu say what the process free from sa ba na nam structures no so ba ya na ye wo opportunity bi wo ho na temptation bi wo ho a obi betimi abuse ne power wo de amano no de akoye bibi fofora e be satisfy ono ankasa and not any other person and not the collective ebi ne say constituency ho ebi a ayi no betimi aba collect the by region region for no be betimi ahwe say me kura mfie na eda ni mesa pese megina as regional secretary ana regional treasurer na organizer na chairman enti delegacy so ya omufiri yiho omufiri constituencies no enti se me brebre enya me nipa mane kohye ho se disia se dru ha obebo ame amanya nipa ombeba abeto aba amame ebi sutimi ya adwen se abato etwa mu a ye to mame ba be ye regional secretary na regional chairman na regional organizer no asuma sini na bo ame na asuma sini obintin na tuti ame enti se ne ono be pe bibia ebi a me monu buga South Asia.
I see.
Nenyi no free mu. Ebisu wo ho a.
When party baba kuma na adwin sa no.
Yes, ne atransi adwene ahunu say those are the loopholes so.
Okay.
Loopholes so amamfo betimi afa so abuse power. Ye de akọ ground ho through decentralization.
Okay.
Ebisu ya ahunu say ya manifesto commitment. Say ye be pese ma be ebia wanted kura ebetimi aba appointees no.
Okay.
Enti ye hai oba ba kun ya wa apply ya monu buga na eyi no free mu na ya de no ka ho na ekoko duru ha o mbeka se amema mienu oba da mu nti ene ye mfa mama no enti eno so timi ye motivation se ne oba bi o mu a kwaye be fa so awo no konsa ama na free mu se de be ya edin e be bankran no na oba so nka ho no eno so there are all these temptations here ya na e wo from ho ena nti trans in the say kwan be na e be fa so aye betimi I reduce these temptations to the barest minimum anase obi a obe na dwen so okoyusu saa de we e de aye appointment na abuse ne power no then e wo ha e de be check no.
Okay.
Enti ensa kan tretre no nyina no ene esan ka say ya bie kwan say obi a ya boatiano ya yi na free shortlist no mo a wa mpene so a ono kari ne ho hunu say asisi no o de petition ba ni asom obi de petition ba nti e ma kwan be say na atwe be miensa.
Wow.
And they receive sa petitions no nyina and they sort no into regions.
Okay.
Into a drew region way so near fret region no mumpanimfo. Near Case, a Juma moye no, ni persons ni or benten akase Mosisino. Enti momra ni Hong Kong. Na region for number. More bar. Kwanya mo fa so ye mo interviews ma we no mo pie no. Se scores bi na mo de ya mo fa raw scores no mra na ye ne mo nyina anko true.
Wow.
Bi hunu se nipa no mu yi na free mu eda ne kwa mu ana se na ne kwa mu enti ye saa ne manu nyina enti ba bi wo ha obeka na se bia petition na ntimi ama e friend no telephone so.
Okay.
Na region for no te ho no o chire mu no so ya bisa no de enti na osusu se ya sisiu so enti ye chekia de na sem ewo mu no ni aso petition no.
Okay.
Ye so mu a de ne se miensa no de ya soma ye mpanimfo a mo hwe region no so ma yen ena wo mo akoye adwuma ayi wo mo de aba enti ukoyi obi free mu a na akoye se ko atia original for.
Okay.
Enti ase nam do don say nkwai enti de mu yi no free mu a wanti ase no ye nyi mu de miensan bia free mu ya de no beka ho
na num
na yi nyina.
Okay.
The bigger the merrier you betimi ahwe ayi no enti obehwe after petitions no ba bi wo ho omo de nipa omo ba interview ebi a na ye 4 ebi a na ye 6 as no ma ye nya am say 7 or so.
7. Wow.
Wo mu nyina ya allow omo because ya review ebi num petition hunu say
omo genuine
consent ti omo fa omo mra ana ya de nti wo kekambo mu ana che say 261 times 3 and the basic you know nti petitioners so they can ho a I just say nipa interview omo kobe the say 700.
Wow.
I interview omo in that short time.
I see.
Nti sorry anopa ko shasie 9 o'clock to da bia yetimi pon anajo 8 ana 7 ana 6 ana ya to yadwene mu to any other business ya ewo ya kwa obi aja adwuma bia o yegu ho say ye focus on sade we say na nyamboa na etimi boa present mahama na otimi enya ne MCs nyina in place within the 120 days. No. Okay. And also a bit my achievement.
Okay.
And the sad no. Enti we num nyina wie nche say report no nso no ebia nipa miensan region no select wo de ho narration attach it.
Okay.
Say nipa number 1 say ni and the comma no.
Okay.
Number 2 say ni na comma ntia no so ye full report.
Okay.
And the idea no to ho and no ye report number 1 every party structure no more be through national.
Okay.
And yes sign a contract professional pollsters.
Okay.
And I also call filled in all the 261
districts and municipalities.
Districts and municipalities. So almost opinion polls.
Wow.
Na woman rate sa nipa miensa no. In order of merit according to popularity.
Okay.
And nti woman so samples be say according to posters no. District ya woman susano woman interview nipa 6,000. District akese no 8,000. And woman yes survey no. Enti ebi by telephone. Woman generate telephone numbers no.
Okay.
Randomly. Enti wo ha ni afrew. Ya bisaw. Say when na ususu say odidi si aye na waka wadwene. Na record. Na ye wo house say ebi a odi miensan iko. Na say obi bo buga ena oyi miensan no nko akoye na nipa foforo bi wo ha ono fata mo say ya gina tum so obeye disi no a kwan be na ebe fa so ahunu.
Okay. And also question kese pa na say mobisa.
Stress no. Ani wo mo discuss here na mo ya say wo mo kwan ya mo be fa so. Enti wo mo de answer ba akoto aka ho say miensan ya wo si ye wabubo mu din mempe mu bia.
Okay.
Enti wa ye no kasa no ye bisa say we ni emu be na ope a susu so ye disi abeboa.
Okay.
O kari wo ma obetuma kasa da bi o miensan nyina obi aye disi a omo emwa na mum asumasi na meminim say o ye disi na ebeboa. Enti omo so o kan answer we nim we kan answer we nim unim dia we abo unim dia we abo unim dia we abo. Report no by no na constituencies say between 10 and 15 or so someone else no eno na wini
aja train no wachiri
wow ejira say no bi bobuga o kwa so baabi eno ya pia de o fata no ato nchen
kra
ena ede miensan bi eko so enti someone else no baabi wo ho a onya bese 60%
wow
endorsement na 3 no ebianya 11 bianya 14 bianya 6 so
wow
enti ebasa ye frɛ ye tracy someone else no ya invite na in many cases no oye nipa wa apply a ya bonu buga say ya failing no regional level but no one's actually na population na kasa fe say ono na ye ya frɛ na ka ho say brabe participate na be compete with the others because your friend be kan ho ye nyi obi amfiri mu say nka wo na otoso 3 na ye yi obi foforo abehye ho nti brabe ka ho for no ye be interview mu nyina bom enu nti eno boa ye mie hu say baabi a yabo nipa bi buga unfairly no yetimi anya kwanya bi ama wo mo asan abeka ho enu nti say o te say baabi kakra bi a mo ka say obi wo ho de na onka ho kra na obi de no free baabi no de no be shame ni ade sad that is where those things
I see. Eti omo mutie ne ebia mo districts and municipalities BBS ano. Emu nchiremu nie.
Emu nchiremu no.
I see.
and I need answer your home records.
Okay.
Okay. BBI home
records.
Enti eno posters de no opinion posters de no are professional posters wo mo de.
Okay.
Ena yes sign far NI before. So almost unkoye security background checks
of those individuals now.
Okay. Now also sign far popularity tests no and sign ho. Na eno so ye betimi dia cross check professional posters no so almost results so am de bre na obi ankofa asokwa medane ya chinchina. So enti eno so ebai. Let's just say ansana yenso committee no yaka say report. We want to see the faces behind the reports. And unti nipa miensa no ne 99 no ayi wo mo no. Ya pese wo mo ba ne test wo mo pound for pound. They hunu say or what it takes to be DC or DC. And na ye interview, face-to-face interviews, no. Until we had the results of the face-to-face interviews, no. A can one. Now we have a report to be 9. And now you put 2 together. Obi beti me image say or no. And now president ya no. Na ye face-to-face interview no so. The and say our inputs be from Ananum traditional authorities in him for binum to me by a hall now more abeka or more before the vetting.
Okay.
Now or the Ghanacelebrities they are opinion leader be free any of those areas be Ghanacelebrities near to. Now the key opinion leaders in those districts so are members of parliament. Almost a big opinion leaders.
Yeah.
And now almost experience about what happens there.
Okay.
But I also know also there's a danger of personal interest. So ebata ho.
If MPs in the neighbor.
Yes.
Okay.
Because the MP no ebedi nokre de amaya onim fom ho eche nipa bebre.
Yeah.
Na ordinary eba the man and also you taking off a pinch of salt and they say the personal interest so you at stake.
Okay.
Because MPBA be say obi me contest no. So enti and also danger wo ho ne say so obi wo ho a MP no suro no say o contest ya obetimi abetu no da achi a ono zo on recommend no say yemfa no mra enti and also ye take MPs no so views so there was that also at the back of our mind say we also personal interest eka ho enti nye de wo mbeka no nyina na ye krogin ese etimi fa chire check hunu say de ya ba bebo ne din no ana de ye mo ne din no is it because say MP no ne self protection tin wo ye ana bibibi tin wo ya and also ne ho ye nyina de obi a pese ye protect seats no ba kwan a obefa so anwini seat no ene se obeye wadwuma yie
okay
enye no ne se obe remove competition afri ho remove competition no nyina afri ho awankasa kura wonya adwuma no yie
yeah
enti within the party wanya competition MPP ni beba betu
okay
so enti better say at times no oye hard on training grounds eye wa party no na ye je utumu a battlefield the only MPP for kushia no be easier at the amount.
Okay.
Enunti ye MP for no nyina na ye ne MP for no di kan so hia ene ye kan kire wo mo se ye besere wo mo a ye ne ye wo committee so yi ye di MP no bida enti ye nim atete ye wo mo se MP ni DC entam enwa wo mo betimi akwa ma MPP for abefa seat no. Enunti ye mpese MP betra parliament na chinyo na dabia no odwena akire ye medeni DC for ye medeni DC MP be free hono na DC no na mo akire MP we ti say me na me ye we MP onye hwe no nema no You per se limited that one as much as possible. And until you bet MP for but MPs yesremo a form honor more prepare more applications interviews in form and could you cast a choice in here. I didn't try because from experience, say nipa 30 na apply. Na MP no ko gina mu say we na me no betimi aye adwuma me choice ni a obenya the best case scenario obenya dam for back but 29 enemies. As I say every this no appointment no na wa sha ase enya problems enti emfa wa no enkomu yen mpanimfo won kran ha be kan wasem kire yen be kire ye de onimfa constituency no ho eni nipa ye bobo omudin no na yenhunu se weni nti ede koha ebeye na yen so yen access hunu se wasema oka no wonyina so enunti ye peke wo so views behind the scenes MPs no
okay
but a part of the material ye gina so the final interviews okay enti yaye we nyina wie no ne be trans ye final interview no so ne process ne se wa be wura ye dam ho ye interview no se round table kasi se ya obia tene ba bi at a distance ya memi hu we de o twere ono so hu de me twere we so hu de we twere enti ni pass every no nyina na etwa hia wo adenum na interview we no aba betra yanim enti ebi a first 3 minutes national chairman ona obebisa question o question a obisa no area ha na obe focus ebi a o test nipa no ni leadership so obetima a leader na wontimi nya leader na second one ebi a general secretary ono so test nipa no ni party sem ana say ni nimdeɛ ewo local government ma na problem solving mu na obi so abisa ne nimdeɛ ewo assembly adwuma mu na ebi so abisa ne nimdeɛ ewo party no ne manifesto a o this no kodi animu ama ya implement wo district no se wunim de wo mu a ese adwuma akwakoye no kra wunim adwuma akwakoye nti anunum nyina ya test nti we ma max na we ma max na we ma max na we ma max enu nti no ye bewie no na ya gada score sheets no nyina ede ama ya secretary no na obobo of first score sheet we ya no abobo candidate 1 nipa suma si man say we man say sa scores no sheets no kura na yentwe edin to so
I see
yen sign your signature to so ye the code na ye the identifier committee for no kwan ne nim who represent ebia XYZ ana CPU ana we enunti no etofom ba bia obi afa ohunu se asuma sima we max say ana we say ana we say ana ya de enti ye tale ni nyina wie ewo ya nim ha ye wie district ba ko de ani atale ni ahunu se we na top interview we na to sumie no we na to sumie sa ni a friend next district na omuso aba ni a go through the same thing
process
enunti no ye nya interview no mie ya ye ni ati ho no obi antimi hu emprejaje se asumasi ne de manana obenten ne de manana sese nti ya wie no eche se ye nso ye interview results wo ho ena ayi posters no so wo mo so de wo mo hu ye ena before de wo mo hu ye ena region for no so recommendation eba eno so say net ye nti wo come yensa 9 ibomu a 0.5 ye tie bia wo be hu se de wadi nkunim ewo mu no eche se ono na wadi nkunim se ye de ne din koma present se on hwes na
etu na je se favoritism bi anim per process abia to no no because Greater Accra, you say list be Kwabonten. Emma be crack say MPs no na ahyia and na oma pencil down crofo say we no mo no mo pese omo betimi no mo ye adwuma and na omo de ama monti list be be kind but we didn't pay attention to that list because you say okay.
It can be one of three things.
Okay.
Ebia MP na ya adwuma no yie ahwe fom ha wo hunu say ye de asuma si ya ebeboa and odi aba and system no a ya run no abetro up the same person. Enti ebetro no app a enye say ye se be previous so manu wo sum no ye se be kwadontofu obi na yete ho na obi no, we don't do that.
I see.
But in many cases, no, some of the choices of the MPs no coincides with the final outcome.
No.
Yeah. But as I said, let's just say there's likely to be peace there.
Okay.
Because report back when free regional structures no mwamba say I indicate you be na popularity test I indicate no na background checks criminality ni adi nyina indicate no na ebia MP no so ono so aka ne dia eno no nyina coincide dia let's just say unim say sanipa no imagine the chances say obeko true no ye high and beyond that one so no asundwe beba ho in running the district.
Okay. Eti na che say ne ye no but your time no nti me pese me do we from the NDC ani ye nim free tete more co-elections are say chairman general na call for the chairman general secretary and nko na ye campaign ye toma no a me so na me call for another year ye toma me wi ani nyina be form ye if I say team national executive for region or what have you but adie bi aba say me me call for a certain position na my team say person me chairman and me pen obe me secretary pen obe organizer ama sadie no de enchichem bebere aba eti there's a common language mentimi no nya dwuma a ekoso grassroots wonom a kwan be na metimi afa so ayi sade we e the free mo party mandatory because o can be say party base no ya agitated na say one more year a very dangerous for party no for the next elections ti kwan be na as a party no or national chairman no be fa so asade no mo be ye free mo party member say da be obi magi fia no mo a ohun say ni nua no ne wo party bakum no one is an opponent. Chairman,
Mate,
in a minute, you had it.
Mate, now one say essentially no small shades of opinions are no useful for multi-party democracy.
Okay.
So a call beyond a certain point here now be a destructive force. And until democracy enye say ubetimi arane society a eye bibia ye conformity say bibia obia ne obia adwene ye there be democracy encourage say differences in opinion because it been said say sparks of truth emanate from clashes of opinion into opinion bia ebe paja obia ben raise various aspects coming arguing from different angles no say tie omu nyina the outcome no decision be free mu aba no ya na ye more qualitative than say ba kun beka say yes or no na kanti obia am follow in line to say command structure and until no a certain level of disagreements no useful for the proper functioning of democracy. And untino enye too much is a gisebia a bro a certain level. And now enti any intention say ye be ye na party num akoye organization bia ye bibia conformity say we can't back one no. There must be room for exchanges of opinion. And untina OTM and me general secretary say ya yetimi hia wo assemble akho the way the intensity of debate ayebeye obia be raise various sides eventually we agree on the way forward.
Okay.
Near decision be a be PMusa abano. Naturally say, you test it with fire. Now, Unim said the difference between iron ore and steel is fire. He suggesting seba na yang tries those suggestions in the fairness is yentimi refined decision. Okay. The shades of opinion. Okay. They will continue existing. Okay. This will be our party. We are party. Nipaka Krebinti or large organization like NDC there.
BBC Baba.
Useful.
All right.
But you manage say MCO out of hand.
I love Radio Go 90.5.
Okay, 90.5 FM Suni National Chairman Edema NDC Honorable Johnson Asiedu Nketia and Ameneno Edin Komo Enche you sorry. But akra yen share me issues ba community yen share CJ removal no. And ne court to kwasitena omo ede assemina kwa share nyame adama on the seat next month. Ebinimo face now. Senior Akufo-Addo ebebu o mine o de patapa bibia o jebo de bono monso mo baye sa na mpese mo ya CJ o te hono no mo pese mo fa kwan bi so etu no na waban a mo de abayi mo ne mo pe no na mo pese mo nye yan hwe petition akọ ene na mo mampani etu ne ensem ankrofo ka o egna na ka fa ho
se court no nyina ye na adwuma se de democracy tia den na Akufo-Addo timi de patapa be bu man no enti obi betimi de patapa abu man no I just say your problem or court I see because court no the main purpose is to protect citizens from the abuse of power of government here. Ode wai utumi ahye nsa enunti de ode tumi na ahye nsa no so nya kokoduro bi e de patapa eye adwuma no a na che se court no nya na adwuma yie because court no nya na adwuma yie a restrain executives from abuse of power.
Okay.
Enti de mo kan no ankasa kire say then there is a problem with the court system I say you fix it. Enti se problem no ho nso na eno so am fix ya. And then nature say you can't correct
the wrong.
The wrong. So, and so be a who say, Sinto or court no ho, nor the petition about say, family fine so, and ya, me say, me who anything wrong with it, and I won't accuse President Mahama for anything. I will encourage him say, yema processes on Yajuma. Because no, they say, petitioners see asem ya womo de abai enya womo nko o opinion polls akoso ma nepad nom ne ayinfo nyina ye reports de aba abekire se Ghanaians womo gidie wo ye court system no mu ahwan asan na chipa enti so obi bedi akonwa na se opese Ghanaians womo gidie wo court system no ekonanimu a anamombe ne seso wotu a it may restore sagidie no reports no bi so kire se electoral commission oti omaimu ononso amanfo gidie wo na adwuma yemu akofom practically many of the institutions scientific opinion polls actually said there is something wrong until ubekaya the last rally no you know make I say we need the ebe win na ye win the biggest challenge ebe face yen obia economy no na ye ka ho ase
yes
na me su say in resetting the institutions I want my no and no be bigger challenge than even the economy
no
because democracy is government by institutions.
Okay.
Inti so bitimi corrupt two institutions no. Na ema no kwan ma otimi rule in a dictatorial way to said the Akufo-Addo rule no.
Yeah.
If you want to build them back said the better institutions no be restraining the exercise of power in the system. it will take some hard decisions. And you know, one of the challenges.
Okay.
And now institutions so yenim say ebe week no and the man executives no more exercise more power in capricious manner more dilute or mine no ajapade. Say institutions no ye adwuma nka lutu ntimi nkoso. If the same institutions are there in the same shape and form. Now say what they know be ora. Now what me recover all the loot. How are you going to do that?
I see. With
the institutions no be no or more facilitating the looting in the first place. Inti so Bia who said there's something wrong in some of the institutions. Now you use constitutional process no to reset those institutions. I don't see anything wrong with it.
I see. Mami Shadi, are you not worried, sir? The content of the petition, no? It got to a point now, a leaky, to the extent that I think, good evening, Ghana. I am say, Akwai.
Maybe to me who say a leaky.
Now, or then no one know yet near because
I didn't just say no, 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 bonity more fabricated. I didn't know the number. Because until say contents no ebe pie from official source.
Okay.
How they be compare there now obi pedal. No one say he was peddling the same thing no. And now they be who say leaky. Now say me te hey me ko fabricate bibi anam the better radio gold say petition on the contents here. How would you cross check say and only the ever system no mo yet at the cra na enya at the cro. NTS at now there, me need say content be a leaky. Because the BI pain. Yesterday, I've contributed a team now at the report no buy.
Yes.
The only copier, my just 3 copies or so. At the almost authenticated, finally revised one. And one and I keep.
I see.
And so no, delegate to me any such light to me serializing them bit said ye or mukuta document no or year free document no ma in some more can win no credit. In Tibio how the TCU Amwako Case and yan no credit, win no credit. Now, Onam Hono,
why not smart out the Ghana?
So even though we kept the copy, no, ye live by taking lessons from Nemabia. Recommendations na ewomu no.
Okay.
Ene edi ye adwuma ena na yeti member power. But se o ma ho kwan eko tese no wa abonten.
Yes.
Nka semo ebe piepie mu ne abufu ebe banom ne nema no. Muntimi nka mbom kura se mo ye mo de ye adwuma ama adruba bia. So ntiafutu bi wo ha ye no kokoa mu bi wo so a ye na abonten.
I see.
Enu nti no as we sit here there, Mimi nyina honka say, Mahu bibi wo good evening Ghana. Inti eno na ye the real content no. When officially we've been told say content no. Yente to nchire obia.
But CJ, the conduct throughout the process, who say mama no toko no.
Me de abrewa obewu ani hu ehu.
Abrewa bewu ani hu.
Wow, bekwa akoka se unanan uwa na ubewi ubedi kan jana.
Wow.
Enu nti asem wo ye wo court no. Me mpese me de ma no beben ho. Ma court no nka na asem. Se we conduct ti say. Wa no wa umfa nkote asoja hahan. Ma omo. Ma court na meka na asem na emie. Na ever metu just say the yahunu munie. What is that? We buy my can once in Dabi. And can once in the yard, Wakota, no Abuma. Beginning, no, Yanyama, no, can say. He say a reset a judiciary. Okay. He say a reset electoral commission. Okay. He say a reset they say auditor general, Honomne. In Bobo, but I know Namikabu say we need institutional reset. And you still stand by some. I still stand by those
electoral commissions. Electoral commission.
Now when the coffee say we buy, and you mean I'm coffee buy.
One are the buy.
Na I dare send a ben and quantaira. say ade win ya wi nti electoral commission wa be dane so abofo
e di commissioner no onko
me de top ho nyina nye back yeah maka bi mu say sa galamsey nsensem ni ade a ekoso
yes
weak institutions and create ade no
weak institutions
yes
and create that galamsey
yes because Ghana Nkwanya discover gold. South Africa for starting a 2 gold more than 200 years in what Galamsey as South Africa. So, and no natural resource be an exploitation no. Country a ube hunu ye aban said dey say obe establish strong institutions here. Womo be allocate rights for exploitation. Ebe ye beneficial to the country. Na mode and method of exploitation no so be sustainable. Na proceeds a ebe accrue no so no. Aban no be di akire. Na yatimi harvest their build the country no. That is how come oil rich countries Dubai no ne ade ade nyina wo mo akọ wo mo anim. So the one timi anya no yie no. Na wa be dan say South Sudan ana say DR Congo. DR Congo resources so from hono. It me Africa nyina am ye dan say America. I see. And so no because of weak institutions, weak governance no ne ade ade no ene people who want to come and exploit it no. Wo mo ankasa efa akire eko instigate conflict. Said the bear anyway kondia na say ebenya kwan exploit it. Enti ade a ye da no in the fight against Galamsey ne cause pa ne weak institutions. Koyewo natural resource institutions here. Ya provide for in the constitution. Woman regulating woman say regulate the rights and allocated the rights of exploitation. Now who exploit so ayebe say ebe fane kwan so sustainably. Ni yatimia extract natural resources no with minimum damage to our ecosystem. Enti fisheries resources. So while regulating year, unya overfishing, the same problem Galamsey create ebe create.
I see.
Oil. So while regulating year, South Sudan and Nigeria for the year create problem. Bisa say, how come say Nigeria one more oil crana ne do ya in Libya, na Libya for the way we used to build the one more country. No. So timber resources, the same thing. Enti bibia nyame de be ma no. Se utimi eputu in regulatory structures here.
Obedi di wache.
Na kokoye say each one for himself. Ubia me amam for beba be exploit anyhow. Ubia exploit anye ni krom ni ha obeye no said the open no ase no basa no diska na kotra ni krom no odi. Na wo yade no ha wo ha. Unum hunsu no wo.
Your time na so. But na obi kura tiam na say wadanfo Ekuonaba auditor general oda so tio. But then you make wadanfo because only case no.
Onye madam for no de enya me na.
Ebi ni money case no. Tinam so wadanfo. Na that mean o say chairman Sabonsu. Emma analysis bi chire mu ni entia. Emre bi party no mo ye changes of parliament. Ebra mo reshuffle. The current education minister and the current interior minister. I call the oyerepa tweka. And according to o say chairman Sabonsu no, was that changes na mo ye no, tactical changes na mo ye no. And the problem every NPP party no out of election 2024. Akra wo je home pentere ko kroma. In a minute. Sasa what did you say?
Oh, me fan say I don't do wrong things knowingly. Obi anya perfect. But there me say in my position as a national chairman and general secretary of a party no. Ya na me believe who strongly say I'm not pursuing any personal agenda, but I'm doing what will carry the interest of the party forward. And until say a dissatisfied will be a crying a member about any outcomes. If you say we team coach here. Now kushia another team na mo be bobo now nim say wo mo front line no buga for nkwa
yeah
now wo excellent dribblers ya control omo into the fray near mubu omo na won't mean call next match. And until coach for we had na we say na TNT and the match idea. We no na say idea anymore. Na coach change ubi say o metran bench na ubi nko nature say Ntim Fordjour wo mo aka no. That is not the case. And now adia abaya getting your winning elections. Your opponents na nkasa no. Say na omo huru ye mpa na they were pushing say
no me serious against that position abotiki.
But say kokuamu no. Na wo musu say ade no say ya so. And until some of them were trying to instigate woman affected the class be rise against you no ne manema, but we remain focused. Says here say captain, team captain, enna dano ne ball anko ye enna wako tena bench ya u ni match no say captain no be left cap no ene say position si ba ye ya nyi obi atutwene obi anya bi
yes
so enti it tells you say courage with which to take decisions, you know, a part of leadership.
Okay.
And to know who should play what role at any time, no, and also at any point in time, no? Okay. And also you're very important. Now only courage I be take decisions here. Unim say ube implement decisions here. Unim say a beboa for the collective good. You have no place in leadership.
Okay. Okay. Team men are supporting.
Boxing, I'm supporting.
Boxing.
When you said that, I can say football, no.
Yes.
Back for who bet me about board, back for Koji bribe by a best munina, bra, what bring you what bring. So now one boxer, I Koji bribe say, a moon upon time. And you know, when the Koji bribe, one year babu.
And the boxing.
Yes, and no fixing responsibility on wow, be wrong. No, we mistake you now so far. So, and then I made me support boxing.
The team there, football there.
Team they will be fighting back for fighting for the bribe. Munina, over Bonya Miani, and so.
Ekuonaba.
Ekuonaba.
Agra Nyamisha.
Yo, me
don't talk on my mind. That's me. Yes, I had the interview. You see, Onua Johnson Asiedu Nketia.
Is there no turning back?
Yeah, Mompire na.
Yeah. I did go away, young piebo. I never be a young piebo.
We cry the beer, they are come to the camp. Na, me monitor mopa, and I think say, Nyamea don't more ball mine.
Kaka.
Say, na me work penny be office. Early morning, dinner, we program na. The tiho ena oshamo na me who said they make a piano untie so I joined him
to also watch
and the share movie and I feel no busam say aha ekwanso yeah so it tells you that I mean edra no pass
yeah
a man for a very good obia etie show titru ne enioma pa odigu akwam so far no who said, who can or the Ebemuno, ama a shoe bobby abba. Ivan, dear, say, or no. Generation way philosopher.
There's a certain guy. Oh, what's to nyai? There's a class and your polytechnic, technical university, right? As our level 300 or so, yeah. As a minimum so monitor my status. Thursday, so Wednesday, no, a real one, a quabay, me fan said 3 when I'm in post to the next day fly, and I know I send you a message. It's Innocent not coming tomorrow. Now, I said, I fly and one I am, mammy. Just say, one monitor my status, it's
important. He has really much to give.
Exactly. Sure.
And he's always learning a lot.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes I say, am I coming to the lecture room or I'm also coming to lecture? So I mean, I'm managing. the commentary.
Sure.
He has a lot to offer.
Exactly. All right. And top of the me sure say ya di ka bobo bisua ma enra ye follow Supreme Court process. Vincent Asefua honorable can do. Okay, honorable can
supposedly.
Or the President Mahama Court to say process na petition no buy ya or start to say obetimi ede apam Chief Justice no Supreme Court and stop President Mahama from sa constitutional instrument na say emra na wo de beye adwuma no o nsi ne kwan kra na wantoa so eno apa na ne ba kwa amanti na wo say omutu sheda omu wie ye na honorable Dominic Kanye no ya attorney general wa magana forty say process ne de enka de President Mahama and the Asha Council of State any committee in Sasu and it is not going to affect it in any way. And into I know the that baby and a process so air coso. I say after that in who say minority so I a press conference. Some Makabi. I feel the honorable Afenyamak and minority leader saying or who President Mahama said or ye statesman because mainstream politics never cost to 2028 on Kobium. Enti ma NDC funny ideas and me distract governance no na oyi Chief Justice e be say Ghana democracy Innocent
yeah they can mention what here for and I think say also no part the political discourse na no it's not just for politics of it keke na but we are shaping the minds trying to educate people sabe bit me take governance I say in the context a bit me situated this country na yet me achieve the kind of dividends I as of mine nyina whole essence and they say you bet me away economic freedom not just for but for young generation yet to come sabaya or mine na mamu no ebenya so mfaso amomo. But very often, all that surround upon our political landscape, now tear some of the conversation. People you have so much respect for, sometimes you draw back because you begin to ask yourself, so, Maya, you see a democracy, a fledgling democracy. Yeah, try to be able to reposition you, want to be globally, able to be competitive, a force to reckon with, if nothing at all, within the sub-region. And people who are leading the conversation, the bigger conversation, a driver policy, a shaping minds, and they dictate the pace of our politics. And sometimes when they speak, you find saying the intellectual weakness, the poverty of intellect that they live in their wake. And sometimes, it's so shocking and so frightening. And what in China, as a young person, expecting certain things will go the way you expect them to go. Afenyamak MPP chief, you find saying. Chief Justice, this whole petition removal. In the first place, this is a political party, MP no Asiedu president. Say the mandate our exercise in the petition, unconstitutional. And one breath, Ujina court on the second breath, the same political party is staging a press conference and saying whole lot of stuff. The good question is, when did the MPP become the spokesperson for the Chief Justice? And again, Nipana President Mahama Baya were you mono, not just Chief Justice. And saying you're gonna start sticker ahead. There are several other individuals. So why don't you bundle all these people together and as who's speaking for them or speak for them? Why Chief Justice? It means you have a peculiar interest. And the questioner, none press conference and all cannot say. President Mahama person oyirifo no kofa familiar person or a sympathizer of the NDC. So does it mean that Kufuor man or the buy no a sympathizer of MPP? You see, these are people they just talk cheaply, loosely without thinking because you're a very smart and very sensible person and you're making such comments in public. You will be guided by some of these things because are you saying Nipana Akufuor ne buy mameno or MPP into no buy? Is she a sympathizer of the MPP? Is the reason why you are fighting for her today? You see, this whole process, beginning with the court, it's a foolish undertaking, because the constitution in our framers, when they frame the constitution, they realize in the exercise of their duty, at any point in time, anybody can go rogue. Rogue, you say, will veer off. And I'm saying, position now occupied a very sensitive, constitutional framers deliberately created a window. Say, when such a situation arises, then a window is created for the removal of the Chief Justice. That power is not vested in the president. That is the first point that we need to make. the power to remove Chief Justice, to begin with, that power is not vested in the president. It is vested in the people of this country who feel dissatisfied. And I said they are in direct contravention. I will establish rules of engagement. Write a petition and send it to the president. The president becomes just a conveying belt. Or just petition, you forward to Council of State to establish merit, credence, and as a value in this particular way. The president court because at that point, my man here. Now me say even that particular call was premature, even from the Chief Justice, because at the point president engaged Council of State, that particular process. My culture say no adverse funding at any point in time can be advanced against the Chief Justice. So at that point, you don't even need to hear her. But for the president to go ahead, now all man a 10 days on far response. At that time, no chance the president himself has been kind enough to the woman. Because I was against the fact that President Mano the opportunity to be heard at that point. Because in young committee level, at that point, the whole essence is young petition use a meet threshold. Council of State is not, yes, it's not a discretionary something. That particular thing is a constitutional injunction on the president just to send a thing to the Council of State. Council of State and adjudication body, all that they are clothed with the power and they say, a meet threshold, say, a fete. I bet me calling the petition at that point, no, and that's more established that then we go to a committee level where a committee in that panel is an adjudicatory panel. At that point, the woman must be heard because the principles of natural justice actually say the accused must be heard, and at that point, constitution no crime insists say at that point the Chief Justice must be heard either in person or through her counsel. It's explicitly clear in the Constitution. And we are MP. Now you say you are just clutching at straws. Not a party now lose so badly. They have bad faith. People don't believe in them. They think that the numbers they have in parliament is so useless that they can't use it to advance any conversation. All that you need to do is to shout aloud so that your voices will be heard. So we had the MPP after the elections now. And they go there to stage press conference. Others in fear no more draw. We fear no more draw. Abrante yes no more draw the fear like solidarity that is what they are doing because they have no relevance in this modern political dispensation. So they're just clutching at straws, fixating on irrelevant issues just to be relevant. It's the reason why you see all this thing, because in the first place, this whole court proceeding is a foolish undertaking. It doesn't make sense because constitution processes that must be followed in case we want to remove the Chief Justice. President Muhammad Nasser also Chief Justice. Ghana need the petition and the president is going directly with the provisions. The constitution, that is what he's doing. And for me, he has been even kind by listening to the Chief Justice at the early stage. But our culture at that early stage, process is not an adversarial process. Anything can be advanced against Chief Justice. You need to hear her voice. He established credence. We now move to next stage. At that point, we can sit and then today, after your marking of all people on the MPP sit behind cameras and they try to portray, they care so much about Ghana to the extent, so Mama Ghana will break. And I'm saying, these are a bunch of jokers who should never be taken serious. Because we were in this country when series barrages of foolish decisions, barrages of foolish executive decisions, and the consequences in here so overriding and so overreaching. Baby, Ghana. When the president was taking these decisions, where were they? We were out there on the street on a daily basis. Some of us were deemed enemies of the state. Almost anti-government, your friends say, enthusiasts, always on TV. Naysayers. President Akufo-Addo say Sambala to say exactly. All sort of unholy descriptions were attributed to us because we wanted them to do things right. These were the very people who were leading this country on a foolish course. Today, all of a sudden, after you have been embarrassed so badly, you turn around and come and tell us that you care so much about Ghana. Did you care about Ghana at the time? Ghana seeker $58 million. We sat here, we told you that was a foolish enterprise. Don't push our money in. They went ahead and $58 million in their few months after losing the election, you are trying to portray you care so much, you love so. I think you see, these are a bunch of loose cannons hanging on politics. We should forget about them. All that they are trying to do is to sway the cause, shift focus, shift attention on them, so that they become relevant in this political space. I think government must remain resolute and absolute, because me, I am very much, and Ramans, your friend is Musa Dankwa, team, yes, research. And this research is countrywide research, nationwide. And question is, beside Ghana for the removal of, go and look at the results. 52% of Ghanaians want the Chief Justice out. So if you're a reasonable person and you have respect for the people of this country, you don't wait to go through this embarrassment. Yeah. Oh yeah, mama. Oh yeah, mama. CTV. Who do have workers and why listeners in Asia power over bad. You don't go where you are not needed. Me, that is who I am. I don't go where I am not needed or wanted. I won't go. So as a Chief Justice, the people want you out. Petitions have been written. These people post now pointed to the fact that people don't want you. At the end of the day, no, as a sign of respect, you just bow down and go. You just bow. You can't fight this thing when the people don't want you. You understand? And you see, people know it is at the back of series of improprieties. Decisions are also Chief Justice unilaterally to make panel or say you were free but open case. We saw what happened at the Supreme Court, and several of that. I have a friend who is a judge, a big man. He himself want this woman out. A judge, if you we did the judicial nuclear. A lot of them don't like you. Very unpopular. And I said this is not the first time I buying beer about two different Chief Justice. President Mahama by Mel's by. Sana George na wood nana time so yeah. What is so because you know. Na mami ba na what is so because so be you. But I would did near my why. Now I'm the judiciary na so unpopular. You see, if nothing at all, this particular way your friend is saying survey Bible thing, enough testament. We will be reasonable. Now we have respect for the people of this country. I say, if majority of the people, if this is what they are saying, I buy out, you go away. But where is this whole hanging on? And what is the particular interest of the NPP as a political party? Is it the case that the woman is there to protect them? Is it the reason why they are doing everything to ensure that she doesn't go? Because for me, she's not the only person who has been affected, even though her position is a bit way, But there are several other individuals, President Mahama Baye, what terminated my appointment. And why are they not doing press conference? Why are they not fighting for those people? Are they not Ghanaians? So why this particular one? So you see, I think that this is a political party that has lost so badly. They've lost faith. Ghana for need respect for them, and they're just trying to be relevant. So they are just hanging on anything that comes their way. And in the coming days, trust me, a lot of these things will be coming up. And Ghanaians should stay focused. I'm urging President Mahama say he should stay in line with this particular petition. Every single of it, if there is merit in it, this woman must go. Cleansing this state institution to build trust once again.
Okay.
Yes, Sam, I'm coming to your show. Please, what surprises should we expect? If I tell you about the surprises to expect, will it be a surprise?
A night of music and fashion. Eat good food and digest with laughter. KSM Masterpiece. Old age is a BITC. Live at the Kempinski Hotel on Easter Saturday, 19th of April. Talal, Lexi, Chemical, and Viana. Buy your tickets now at ksmlive.com.
I'm looking forward to seeing all of you on the 19th, man. Because especially you men, I want to do a tete-a-tete with you men, man. Because I want us to discuss some very important issues like, you know who the Supreme Commander is? Others call him the Commander-in-Chief.
KSM is crazy. Buy your tickets now at ksmlive.com.
But that's a one mamma Simana, my charm of more Abbasisia, Bradley so. Young Quay. Now I will see a penny.
Just a do baby or my moon seminal, Senya on my hot dog, na Sebi, a bema near Botre, say de Botre Jack Abua Tatiani Honesua. There many be a while. Ayana. Oh, say, Oba, oye, Ashawuniba. Untu, Owari Nifu.
Okay.
What you say? Na, say, ye dream on my own, near training can't call in Puntua. MPP ni the last person also be too for. MPP ni say you say obi MPP ni na ono ekutujo mahama abanfo and I say government of Ghana we who say bibi kwache ono wokoka ono the last person we say obi na no e de ne sia biasa nwotwe eka bi. It's just sometimes so nauseating to the point say according to say Womaye Nicodemus say yawo omo foforo. Ntino nia Ghana for kura remfie no. Omo pese omo force ma ye refi. Okay. MPP ni to Ghana for any Ghana mine sebi ya banfo MPP ni. No, I mean, sometimes, I said, nipa. Oh, you see, this whole thing about the Omo Yeninano.
Yeah.
I idea bakupe. Share 8 years under that rule of Ekufuado ne Bawumiano. It was nothing democratic.
Yeah.
They only created what we call a syndicate of criminals, and it was a syndicator, Chief Justice Kahon, a lawyer for Kahon, a judge for Kahon. Now, Ekufuado sitting in that office, no, as president, no, decided say me making sure say me your friend is saying or mine in such a way say simple me nyama penia metimi control mine from ifie. Na John Muhammad ye san say no ohoro nanim kosoro ntino oba ye no wahwe na oye hwehan because the na Ekufuado ye no na the plan say e was say o hand it over to Bawumia so the be ya say Bawumia mpo e president a or ye president a no Ekufuado na controlling no and unfortunately no John Muhammad enya tumi ebedi mampani and sinto a war system ni mu no eno na odi board ru a Yakopon ye na dom a Ghana fo su gina so e ka say car no asai na wo su be overhauling dia ene e be ma tumi amwa ba be overhauling ne brofo ba ko ene reset and we say okay to reset no it means say enu amadada ni nyina ye den atwam say no ye ba be ye abode afoforo ben election ya John Mahama winning ye Ghana ni bia say it is the second independence of this country because and Ekufuado no na slave masters ne krampa no ya brofo no na omo ntete yen te say de na Ekufuado a ono ka brofo na broni ebusa de pardon Ekufuado slange protect
why are they absent
pardon can't share the him
Otimi kasana just a broni na ono
I don't know brofo ba
broni bra probusa say pardon because what ti brofo ne ho ama sabi antelope crowd otimi ka anchela
o de o
etino baby ana yakoduru no na Ekufuado was even misbehaving more than the colonial masters ana yaji efa hodi no Kana fo nyina sabi petition no kram nwa say emiensa it's because of some of yeah, we were too lazy.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, I have a petition very ready to present to the president about the dismissal of the Chief Justice. And I have never even used the word Chief Justice because there is nothing justice about that institution. There is nothing. What is the meaning of justice? Peri yo anyhow. In a missing a year, you say, me, yawo me. Me birth certificate, no. Yawo me organ honey, a birth certificate, no. Birth certificate, no. So me free India, and I me ba Ghana ha, and I me nyimu ye, and I me wo ya. I was here transfer me free India,
yeah.
And I me ba any
yawo me wa ha.
It's your friend me, Rashid Kapon. Me boa.
Edi apeno no.
Edi amepeno. Na Rashid Kapon, yatro nationality Indian. Ye we are ni abetro ni maami din ni papa din. Wo si enu ntimi nkyira se me ye Ghana ni ana me nya Ghana ni.
Yeah.
Wei wanu watime akotro se ni maami ni papa twa school fees. Tokonu ni papa no ye adwuma wo ye friend say Kofo Edia secondary technical. Oko wi ade ne pam no. Wei papa wei ne ba wei krono a obo ya ma ye twia papa yi so ka ma ye pam ni kotena fia ene wawu aja Abraham wawu ye friend Abraham Kofi Saki ne mano nyina mini momo omu nyina Ruby nom ne Ben nom ne mini momo I know them oh we are see we no obi anti island mu. And your connections with the NPP, everyone knows. Who doesn't know Tokonis or NPP? Who doesn't know?
Oh, who them so NPP?
Why NPP ni? Who cares when NPP ni kuampo no beyaka?
Hey, now some of them mean so NPP.
Why NPP ni papa?
So Chief Justice. Ne ye na be man ko fa ka se bi o NPP.
Ne ye no, oye chese oye jealous of say or a party member. Or a party member. And who play the role as a women organizer. And to that syndicate now, we create here to loot this state, you know. She was part of that syndicate. Judiciary will be any. Just say, I'm up for an Ntim Fordjour. Oma Jin you say, okay, criticize Chief Justice, what but mine? Now, would there be sabi? Akwe was at or your gas.
Yeah.
No painting, I mean, and you know, Omo a certain very primitive mentality. Once, you be bought NDC so, and ye be and I was making sure say, yeah, not yet they destroy NDC. Sa adwemu fin tantano enu ti na yedi nipa miensa eti akwa akosisi judiciary wa Supreme Court wo no we kona nipa miensa tisisi wo no me sanka me ba be man pani dako me de grade abekwa kodua yam amele no look sa de na si in a democracy ana
Debbie
esi in a military junta
yeah
who are for the work nipa ngoche in a democracy, you didn't find the need to put their heads at the Supreme Court. It's something that I'm calling on the NDC. Omo tutu sa nipa miensa ni tino, sa nipa miensa ni tino omo de kwasi asam de ti, sa judiciary ni mu no. Sa nipa miensa no, oye ya odim, at some point, o pese okọ kura ko sua law. Wa wodi wa dwen ekosua mra na da ati wodi aba obra na wodi aboa nkofo ama omo so abra abo aye beta no na yebusa say na wo nana bi ye lawyer na wo fa bi ye lawyer na wo papa bi ye lawyer na uko interview na yebusa sa kwasi asem we nyina eduru maybe man so for yakufu me chena bo so sa as a Chief Justice say adan ya wonti ase say a lawyer for ne do so Ghana adodo adan yu pa cho law ne ye boma law ne ye boma and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to say, NPP dia. Uko Ghana Bar Association, such stupid association, very useless association. Look at the presidents of the Ghana Bar Association and look at their political inclination. When you're MPP, you don't matter.
Okay.
It be quite centralized in a certain, you say, yeah, MPP for, where would you pass the MPP lawyer? MPP lawyer be a bon, onimumra, onim judge. Onimumra, onim judge. Because Obekwa Kone judge at Nasia catcher and some MPP, it's near dear Sam Naman. And this lawyer, you have to be an extra sharp, brilliant student to pass. When you my MPP for, I did DNDC for our law school, Ghana. Mami way, Onua in charge of your friend is a Ghana law report. Now, I'm going to be the year, Ekuonaba, the dear law report to me, he said editor or editing newspaper. Now, what the front page about. I need the open editor anymore. I don't know how does that make Ekuonaba a brilliant lawyer without a certificate. Ni abadje ne so obey lawyer wo Ghana ha. Again na e wo Ghana ha betimi a kire say was so a human rights lawyer no. Again na kire say he was a human rights activist. Who person would destroy your democracy no. Under the cloak of a certain your friend is saying me chief justice and me na me we oba no yem pam no.
All right.
What e wo ho. Because where Adia Ghana front time focus on. Who is me? What the make court after me member? Who ni bientia? Me nko gyina ho mo bi nka nkyere me say me ye kronfo abra me nim se di pakron wa wieska. Etu pa ma judgment bi ye wo wiase bia ye fa me nko bua me kumfo. Member. Me nyu omu ni.
Okay.
The trust in the judiciary, you know, and only the pivot around which democracy revolves.
Okay.
So me wo susuyepa say that be said be my adwuma bi na bia e sinto bia ba ho obi de makokota say wo say me ko not judge aka asem no
French
na judge ono se me birth certificate et me tell say me Ghana ni we yenipa a me nko gyina na ni ma nka me say brentre me. Do you know the sanctity of that institution? They play the God in the lives of the Ghanaian.
Okay.
It is so 18 years from my Lord. But Sani Pano, if he becomes your Satan, why do you have to refer to him or her as your Lord? And okay. Media me who say, wait, or my penny my way. Say, and come by an also constitution, no. Ebi a chapter ha ana article we ana clause say chese o man pani uni say to me ni say otimi yes ade we na why Listowel will come and say man pani aden na person we are lawless say Ekuonaba. Knowing what they have done, knowing how they have just impoverished the state by robbing from the coffers of the state what it belonged to the state, you know. And Ekuonaba started say, oh, she said judge for, or Pakian people for judge for, you have go Supreme Court, you have go High Court, you have go Appeals Court, you have go, your friend is saying, Circuit Court. Circuit Court. It is an NDC abaiwe, Upa, Momofa Semuko Court is here. Yaman 3 months. Omba Broscota said not to baby cry. And you know, the reset agenda, no, maybe they feel said the pivot now. Who here to reset a judiciary. Okay. And sana me parliament in Saint Seven your manumano. Yes, parliament or Sinto baby. Executive Sinto ho. Ono kwa the affair was as into Sinto Yamai. But Sinto de a batani pound. But when no enya to say bia why a mistake. One more bomutrimu possum be di bonnet. On be a dream. On be Nioma and Sam Fata. Sani panomo ye ekuo no more. That criminal syndicate, you know, you must make sure say by any means necessary. Okay. We a trainer the Akayahoma. Say Matisse judicial secretary knows resign. Is it true? What resign? Resign. Now reset agenda no. Yentimi hwe kwan a ebetimi afa so a ye be reset ya Ghana fo anya institution ni mu gidie se ne obi de Listowel kokota obetimi appear before court knowing say
obenya justice
papa and you say obi di me court with the threats and maybe NPP need to make a say on ya court because of the coordinate threatening knowing say court wa ye bebu asem na gu so because onim judge no
okay
and now say remi ya sa ni judiciary way akoye no upa akohwe a judge for no a lawyer for no mudi asem na no mutwa bayire ni konkontene la pay one ho ahan no kohwe chambers ani free Ekuonaba chambers entino ya kaso bi a lawyer ni a onye superior to any human being
yeah
enu ti na me mbu Ghana ba so me mu papa me mu sebi se bi kura because on sa na say president Mahama bai o makotia no o de ma ho busumi nsia enu ma na Ekuonaba ya ne west o mesase aka ho asem and so Ekuonaba ya mampani. Did you hear Ghana Bar Association speak to anything?
No.
Me ami nua ya a champion. Wa mo wada. When enim SK Buafuba, when enim so NPP ni. Na ya tena ho na NDC force so mutimi ntiba association ni bi. Association ya force. Onu nti na me say constitution review ya ye beye no. Sa Ghana Bar Association ya ma no sam notoriety bi wo constitution no. Omo delete omo fa ayi eraser.
MPP film.
And treatment taking tungu baby kura. A very useless institution. Omo more democracy no. They are very selfish and self-centered. And MPP for NA omu kuo, enya NDC for kuo, enya Ghana kuo. Ghana Bar Association is a NPP for the tiye. It is a Christian Council. A NPP for the tiye. Etimo NDC for no. If you want to have a friend and democracy play in a very nice manner, you have to bring about rivalry. Muntimukuo, the true Ghana Bar Association. No, be who say where you nyansafo ko na kwasiafo ni nie. Separate yourselves from the chaff. Let the grace stand out. Okay. And the chaff also stand ni baby, you na ni baby.
The baby, we that.
Oh, moving forward no.
Yeah.
Chief Justice Adia no. Me who say enye constitution ama a year. Eka John Mahama just by a stroke of a pen or try to cement papers with their left hand. No pamono.
Okay.
But more man when you say card there and could just come and win. I find no market to me the Asema bedroom ne and then ya man judgment. Ah, na LGBT and we here and collect it from Mutu. Yet the collect books about yet the other two and him. It took more than about 1.5 years. Na Asema the whole. All because on person Ekuonaba crab sign.
Yeah.
Last minute Ekuonaba no or bow out no. Afena ma me na be ground na ya judgment no. Omwa.
Okay.
Nti oye more partisan than Ejuma I was say oye.
Okay.
On self fata. And the earlier they sack her, the better.
Me da say ni yan kwamra na because ye tisimu a no stopping no. No stopping. It's Innocent over rap and I call way no so direct.
Yeah, I think
then our press conference no who said you pia it for back for the trophy. Sa ko ba ko gina Nana B eto na JFK to na we so te ho afeyo market to na nkrofo be se 4 se 5 bi su edin ba ko tuntum bi na me so signal afeyo market se a won se TV 3 microphones ya pia to twere pia to one of us pia to twere
we
video na ba stress asem kura
we winning nyansa media general is one of the biggest platforms that we here party in opposition you need media. And Obi Mark, you are sending a message out there. Somebody is giving you coverage. Also, what I'm known through, and I make us say, you see, these people can never be taken serious. Yeah, the focus should be
that. The Ghana forces.
Let's say the focus should be straightforward.
Okay.
Ghana for our concerns about the judiciary. It's not about the Chief Justice. It is not about the individual judges. It is about the sanctity of the system. Because the whole essence of voting for John Mahama stems from the fact that institutions have been compromised and that there is the need for us to enhance them. Akufo-Addo was a corrupt government. It gave birth to a lot of bad institutions in the other way. Time has come. As a clean corrupt government, what do you expect? Bad fruit and they give you birth to. So time has come for us to, clean these institutions. The MPP will play their games, and we know them. That is what they are good at, clutching at straws. I think the president must remain resolute. Yeah, you see, baby, I don't know. First, and as judiciary, that nonsense. This stage, it doesn't happen. Now, no, let me tell you, we've been a soft be say, and then ranting on my social media, crown or more pema. Now, be far and walk off by before. Let me say, generation I know. You can't threaten people with this, Mame Watana crown, I'm for you, Mame Watana, Casa, Mame Watana, Casa, I'm for you now, when you're so you see. Generation I woman no, you pass and I may judge and I may say no. It is about your deed, your obey. And I'm Ghana for only trust and confidence in these institutions. Ntim built there because these are the foundational institutions of our democracy. Your coercion, your integration, everything is contingent on these institutions. So at any point in time, if they begin to veer off, we need to bring them in line. So President Mahama Efeli, now when Timian sanitizes these 6 institutions, Ghanaians will be very disappointed in him because it is Ghana versus these people. You promise the people this is what you're going to do. He should stay focused and do. Fortunately, you've been given petition. You are going by the petition. President Enyam for Memra. His actions, everything there is in line. Senka adia oye, and I was circumvent procedures. Our constitutional lady at her, and now all year near my basa na uyo position now raise concern and come here I will support you 100%. But as it stands now, they are by motive war because they know what they've done. They know where the woman is coming from, and they know the kind of biases. And I zoom it back. They have shared the nonsense that has happened within our judiciary. Will you be happy? Rulings in as for our so how offers or panel. There are people on the Supreme Court. A panel you buy 20 cry for them because Omunim said you are affiliated to this political party. There are people on the bench who have genuine concerns, and they even want this woman out. So you see, we need to build institutions that a bit gender trust. Confidence na man for nya hotoso say oh judiciary me the masem ko ha they will offer me way na at some point in time
judiciary ultimately na bonten kwa predictive ruling
na chief justice to kwan say all the data say the bottom afenyo mark ni issue ya o kan ye kanokre MPP ni ya or failed parliamentary candidate such a landmark issue speaker versus your friend say way na wakota na ba betena way so omo Kenyan sasema wunti say or qualify. Who is talking about qualification? Yes. So I think that the posture, the tone, and then near my sabi and gender that trust. I mean, she need to have a sense of shame and resign at this point and go, so that you avoid all these things. Because this process, trust me, it will go through. No matter what happened, this process will go through. And evidence and I will petition, a valid, a absolute. She will go home. What the MPP is doing cannot save her. I think we need to remain resolute, focused, and deliver Sabaya Ghana for Obenya Toso or what is happening. Yeah, with this Galamsey issue, I think one thing, yes, a very serious in our approach. You see, over the years, and the ISO for from Rollins time up to now, we haven't been successful. So I think, in as much as I want us to take stringent measures, I am very front, I be dealing with these things. Individuals now they don't own sight, they don't own anything. These are people because of poverty, for the daily bread. So we are government, now your focus is on these people, you make a mistake. There are campaigns, they don't go into the site, they don't go. They are the concession owners. They are the people who are importing these Chinese from wherever they are to come and do some of these things. Government strategy must target these individuals and make sure, say, the owners of this site should be our prime target. You understand? Because the it's like washing your feet, abra wash your socks. And again, So we have your mining regime over the years now tilted to favor foreigners rather than Ghanaians. Ghana have come to the realization say who only resources now you must benefit from it. It's me your boss say masasa na manfo to gold with me. Hear me the medical me. What do you think the people will do? They will rise against you. Yeah. So government must begin to review your mining regime, no? Those laws now, say increase laws now in the past, Befana me royalty, befana me mueno. Nyansa bia nim. We own the resources. We must have absolute control. Countries, multimedia and Saudi Arabia, who say our oil, no. What take in there? Hiring American companies with services expertise in as a form. Because Saudi Arabia. Yes, on the rig. The individuals there are Americans and UKs. What the expertise, but yet they work for these people and they pay them at the end of the day. Why can't we go by the same model? So Ghana will get to the realization say and Yansun we need to. This thing I told you the last time say what you have to do is you see at every district, at every region. Baby Galamse no kosono. Form a state-owned company. Let the company employ young people. Government, because we are then nipa betu at the end of so you lead. So these people will be working for institution under government, highly regulated. They are going by the procedures. These people will not destroy our soil. By a tamna ye jagu hokake. Na soja foko gumuram ne ya pamwe. Go pam the panu free wa. The following day we can go back. They will go back and occupy the place. And again, unemployment situation. We must also begin to look at it because it is one of the driving force. And one major idea has to do with the deportation of these Chinese people who come here. For me, I think it is one of the most stupid policies if we are going to implement it. China near. As a country, we don't even prioritize our own people. We are putting premium on foreigners. And I was shocked to realize, Manasseh investigation and China for from 2001 to 2021. We can't do this. And our people are in prison. Our people are languishing in jail. These are people who bring high equipment to this country and they destroy soil and so forth. And I was say soldier for call baby. Operation. Exactly.
Normal, I hear a whole community, nipo over 10,000. Nigeria from Burkina Faso. Just all the African countries that you can think of.
Yes, and Chinese are there.
China for
exactly.
And Omoya counterfeit, Omoya drugs. Just say.
You see, China an approach.
Okay. Just say serious.
Yes.
Serious.
Yes, and this way has been there. We had dining as if we need and then it's been there.
Yeah.
And that is the source of money among Fonya. So they are comfortable, and these people are doing some of these things. We turn around and pretend that we are fighting Galamsey. I think that we need to. You have to revise our methods.
Yeah.
How a bit to deal with this frontally. And yes, sir, you never say just to satisfy the greed of some few individuals who want and unfortunately, when they do these things, they cannot cry Magana for home. I go into private pockets. China for your Muye Galamsey, or they are able to smuggle this gold out of this country. I know that they know minor short changing.
Yeah.
Now they are using Ghanaians to do some of these things. I know that they impoverish the people and they go away. So government need a grand policy approach. I bet media dealing with some of these things because Kasano Yadoso. And Ghanaians are very much concerned about this Galamsey men and so on. I think that the approach must be very holistic, must be robust, making sure say punishment for even foreigners who come here should be biting enough. Now, so we are now with foreigner now necessarily blame no one there. You are rather motivating them to come more because the worst that can happen is that we can't continue to do this. Or minor cannot continue to show weakness. Say we are weak in the name of because that is what Osafuma said some time ago. I think we need to get serious as a country. I am making sure say reset reset all facets. Now you create the maximum value out of our own natural resources. So be benefiting the people, but not benefiting other people as well. Now, I said that man way,
I think governments are taking
what government need to do is we need to nationalize that particular thing. Now you only and whatever services that we require to say to we can hire from anywhere in the world, and we must begin to renegotiate existing way, including Obuasi land now, Anglo Gold, other people are taking, including recent deal. Kufuor to sign this lithium deal. We must begin to own these things. When we own it, I think it will sad natural resources. A country like DR Congo, and right now we can say natural resources of more can even take care of the whole of Africa, but Okoha poverty, because some individuals, because of greed, want to take advantage and own everything. I think we need to rethink as an Africans. But I'm not there.
In fact, I am a depa. My boss na send me one can't say me kind, but I did not watch no. I think I was so be now. Then you understand why people want justice at the judiciary. God never sleeps. That is why he sees all we do. But if he were ever to doze off, it is judges the people have no choice but to rely on for what is right or wrong. A judge who leaves the people doubting or confused may be fit to serve at the mortuary or some other businesses, but not any courts, let alone a Supreme Court.
Yes, yeah.
Ken Kwesi Shea Dakwa.
Quick one, yeah. That is a very powerful statement. And you see, now Listowel Kasano, my Lord, my Lord, my Lord. My Lord Ninyanipano. The veil of reverence accorded to the institution judiciary. Because those times, in the UK, settlements and on a court and I say Nipani dia sema ojina ohenena naimu. Odi where you can't even argue because power no derived directly from the king. So it is assumed that king and atana. So that is the veil of reverence, and these people executed that mandate with perfection, absolute way. And that has been anything my Lord now has been replaying in history up to now. It doesn't mean that we are Lord or we are not Lord, but you might obey. But we've gotten to a time where OBS or your Lord, at your condemned Kwaja Ponche, the New York to prison. And you sit here and we say because we are Supreme Court and Kawasam. No, it can't happen. So I think that we are judge, you need to live it. I active value principle, you need to live according to it. And always, you must live to sustain that trust between you and the people. At any point in time, if that trust is not there, you need to resign and go. But unfortunately, now Museveni, the video, African leader, or Yara when you stroke on him, also to say the machine, but yet he's still working as president.
I saw that video.
We don't want power to go. Black man will hang on to power, even Ukraine. You understand? So I think we sometimes say, favor, let it go. Power, you won't die.
All right, Bradley Listowel.
Oba, you can Ghanacelebrities who say Yakabia, the future. But I did be a Ecosu, yes, in the say unima the cry, you can't intimate solve it.
Okay.
Identifying a problem is almost
it
makes the problem half solved.
Sure.
And the identification here. Oh, yeah, can't Ghanacelebrities. Ubi wa bem na unima dia e friend Ghanacelebrities over there no wako. What I say. And until I say na future me say abai any boys ni na nya dia na edu da bia omo nka say ya ye bia ye mum yemfa ye tusu ye tete no na obi e CID ni a otumi kwa aware na dwumenti o kwa aware ma aware no eso atimi di investigate either bema na oba se bema e CID ni no kwa aware a obi a o investigate oba se oba kwa aware a CID for no obi timi ko ye betwani o baabi enye se abetwa no hia no but just so that ebi a omunim se ebi abetwafo e di boni bi e we kura bi ase emre bi sehwi ba ko bi si ho ema menka abusuafo ya omukuku akola bi ebi ase no investigation ne ko so ama sa abofra na omukun no CID ni ba koware ebusuani no ye investigation ama ye hu ye ekusiye what you say aban emmen sebi omo omutu Ghanacelebrities 24 say oban sua na wo so okotobo wa
okay
the only reason why obi ye Ghana ni a obekwa akose nsu because
yeah
Ghana ni sheda enye na adwen se opese o say bibi nsuwa ne ye kwaya bebrebe ase ni nyina foreigners minima de kura ayehu wo man we mu a enu nti no ye ntimi nya ye mu gidie se ye hia foreigner ene de atue gold wo man we because the last time I checked gold fields are mutu gold wo man we mu omo mining activity bi omo ye bi eye earth moving bi ano Ibrahim Mahama engineers and planners na ye enti say Ibrahim na etu gold no do wi a wo de amabroni no na broni ne de kati wani we bi te say due less 5% ya ma wo miner obetu gold ni free mu a etu bu sa wo say
unyansa wo he
unyansa Nyankopon de ma wo a wo sa de gold ne kan ho no
wo he fa
yeah sir mini minor micro minority for minute minority for omo no akose nkofo bi achi da man 30 years na so
yeah
aban say me ni da man to nkwanta
ya pai
ni nyina go fields sa da man go fields aduma o ye no Ibrahim ene etu ade ma da man go fields for enti no ubusa ho say say Ibrahim Mahama engineers and planners ene tu gold no the ma emrofo no na emrofo no yi emu 5%
e dey am mine no
na omatua Ibrahim Mahama na otu efomagudie ma omo no
eka
omatua ono ne ka na enya mrofo no na etu gold no amwo de
mo masisa gold no de akọ
etibusa ho se ga na ni nyansa we
Listowel quick one. Do you know that kwan ya ma China for more ye? Onko China ni former in Gina or Ghana for the year Juma interchange ya okrom ha nyina Ghana for okomoto we Ghana for the guso. Roni China ni ba kope.
Yes, do you know the meaning? O chere say o ahode e de ye adwuma no. But adwene ne e de ye adwuma no
ni bi.
We dey adwene ne e de ye adwuma no Ibrahim Mahama company engineers and planners.
Omo
Wono timi se saga na fo na watwa wajibe sa ma omo twa ticket ama omo de omo akotena school mu wa burochire se monyire mu nsua de na mumra meya adwuma wo engineers and planners nipa 200 no de omo ko enti no the requisite knowledge ye dey to gold e wo Ghana ha no in fact e wo Africa no ya bona ba so se obi bie ni wo ya Africa ni a owo sa company a etimi ye sa adwuma ni bi
I don't say South Africa for Kramano.
Ibrahim.
Yeah. Big consignment.
Mining companies say what Liberia, Sierra Leone, there is no firm in this continent. It is a Ibrahim company.
Oye Jamama Nientino.
What I say? Sani Panano maybe. You say Wakwakoji bauxite. Concession Okotu. And no MPP for the Ghana for nyina kesetia ase ye ya Jimmy ne de concession ama Ibrahim Mahama sena oba yes south bauxite trailers 40 at the mile say gia what the bed
so minim honim dio
enti no onfanya hwe na mbom no engineers and planners wo nimdia omkofa 16 cubic for adam for am say there bi ye two bauxite na ye be press melting machines wo Ghana ha dia yes smelter no atimi ye alumina ne dia akwa koma vaako bibini no eye bawomia na ekufado no omo se da bi ye fa ma Ibrahim ye kwa kofa China for mo ma betu China for no ba won timi
amanti bi anto
bibini ye kaso agimi a eni gimi no e bo honta meanwhile engineers and planners ana 16 cubic na ye sa adwuma na enko be kwa kofa Ghana fo adwuma nyina hini ni maami kromo ono ani maami kromo
yeah
so sometimes no Uti say ye ho abro. se bibini benya de nka broni mfa Ekuonaba no strategy ni bi no akwakofa broni na oni broni no ato kese me hye dade wa bedi animu ni ya gi wadi ya di wudi ya yebeka se broni na etu na me no wa ba be che ne wa fichiri enu ntina covid ba ya na Ekuonaba ni nyansan mu no Gucci fo na ye test ma ye hu se covid aba no Gucci fo na ye nyuma ni nyina so akwakofa ye fe ni sen frontiers ekotena airport Emo di sika ewie omu declare 17 million ema Ghana just 1 million ohun bibi ni adwene enti no ye nipa ahoye awoyemu ye too envious of each other obi nim say ukiki ye fe pa o kan say oba ukiki ye fe we kiki we dey say papa me wo papa wo obekwa akofa ne dia ba no na ne nsa ba ko abu obi se atare kra na efa yenka because ye di otan hunu otan ani aduro ase yemu dama for the EII kan wono na woto ade no don't you think say we say government tenase na free Ibrahim Mahama say woni company ni di o engineer o say planner engineers and planners momra momien tenase Ibrahim no na wotu go di man ko fo edeko no mama just 5%. Adena wuntu na o mining team benefit be at 50%. Now machine cost no your boys have form adwuma workers be no so mumfa 50%. Na boys o makwa gu galamsey piti mu nyina on se
nka ya be form mu nyina.
Yes there so
na e bia ba bia o mu ye mining na hodo no se ye de ahye wonsa una ye earth mover una wa earth moving equipment una wa the
jealousy na
it say no ye ma wo wakotu gold no gold bia obenya bia no aban regulate because say ya ti gold board no say boys na omo no be ya adwuma no so munya gold bia ye ne omo be che omo benya ohamu chichemu say wo machine course any wo expertise ye be tua say na o man na fa de aka
simple
we ye nyansa ye common sense se broni China ni ono na motom kankan ebeba be fa akọ
ye pe no chance ye nua bibini just abe dwuma meti ase
China ni na ba de ohia ni excavator no akọ ahemfo kro mu
omo do ye dey
China ni a wo di ohina temu a yo dati ono a wakasa ne hu fi no ka kacha ohina so ohina e dati na omususu no take omusu bedie nti na wa matana ni kwan ma na wuram akowura kwayem no wakosai kwaya no because oye no indiscriminately tese oye ade no to the point
say ya ne kuro say ya emfa ne ho nyo ne ya nete ha
so the emfa ne ho so the sign of the good show man emfa ne ho it is how the ade ma Ibrahim kura na see Ibrahim unko abi kura wontimi nya adwuma nti no tete nkwala na fe ba bibia ye to gold bia no se ne be ya ye nsensuo no ye be pese wo be ko na wo be kire o mo se ne e be si fa ye no ebi kura mpo a schools na wo Ghana ha ni expertise o betimi a kire ne ye a ye be sere wo se ne wo ye ne daa no obi otimi bua ni pa 200 no omo ko in batches so ebi ameka or fa ni pa 1500 adwuma but they will be going in batches we na we aba no ma be omo ye adwuma na we mu so ko enti eneme no ka say ne staff a omo ye adwuma no the expertise they have no ebi ni Africa ha na so no MPP ni nim say Ibrahim nya NDC
fo nya oye joma me
ye mo ni suje tira mo ba 8 years na mo ba ye na mo say mo mani into box site no box site na Ekuonaba they are two plates so twitwawe mo dwene ni so ate say ntatira ba dwene na ntatira ba krampo ni me de tutu ho a ase me yaka se mo ni nyansa because Bible mu say
kwa abo atati
anche ko so nyansa ase anoma ba ni mo kese no ade do mu tirim no eso too much Pentium M na twem say no ye ko terabytes any gigabytes ati ye be sere mo
okay
baby adro no dalam say na to be twa we must bring on board those who have the expertise
okay
ebi krampa na Ibrahim wo a certain module bi ana say the company dey wo module bi a omu use o kai say maybe na joma ma ye campaign no obo ba ku bi so Obo so say you will be a friend in leash.
Yeah.
I will be two and show me to set down.
I go for quentin ko baby ah.
Down so to me no miensa.
Yeah.
Enti we are show na ye fi no. We betimi asa wash nsuo no amana sa akogu another dam mu. Na wasa ba use the aye adwuma no we are asa ye fi no wa wash. Don't you think it's something that is genius?
Yeah.
I think say moving forward no. Say you come on more free kwa ye ni mu no. You need kind of strategy.
Okay.
Engineers and planners for Ghana here. Ibrahim, a be our friend and enquire. John Muhammad, your friend at the court. Onua the enemy. On calling saying, the second in that answer, the question and our point. The who answer. The boy.
Yeah.
Go face a you may only two. Anglo good crab come on need two. Go to be a two Ghana, you don't need two. Then ye to go no near the Mabuni, ama Onua repatriate.
No, they are
no one market to anywhere be. Say Ibrahim and Yanisika, you go no go to you no one Yanisika. The machine sika,
the machine sika.
Eti, nobody the machine sika mano. Ronino, I will not go, no. Say, we to the mine, say, be a Ghana out of 100%. Be our say, my name workers, ya 50, or mine in 50 years. You're not for so. You're not for so. 5%, you're not 20, I say 50 years.
Yeah.
Emwa.
Ebeboy.
It's messy. For me, I'm fat, Sebi. Or tiny son, your money in our tongue. Now, yeah, a bad benefit. A big grand making, a fellow market that you're sorry about the constituency for here, my. What mean can't you say Galamsey for in the constituency? Say the constituency for no, any MPP for a constituency for no, a phobia, Benjuma. Now say, Estin Cubit for a hilly box site, year 2 gold, year 2 diamond, year 2 hot, year 2 hot. And yet, Papa and Chen say, Yakofa Bruni, China, go feel so, Yankas or Monko, New Monto, Yankas or Monko. But Enfaswa, Omodema or mine. Yes, shadow. Now 5% here, to say, there be 100% who says I'm again. One is all that go board.
Wrap it up on it.
And to say, no, New Month for 2 go there. Or move it to the Omugo da Kwana. Okay, I said this year the fat gold board. I so think media accordia. Don't you think say a bit Myanmar and call for Kocaine or Mugo Dama New Month of Wana? I think a question Kyei was saying. No address all these address no. Not your homegrown solution. Okay. Why ever fast so I bit me, I think you on our feet and mine our gold. First, any machinery, any equipment, any expertise. They say you will be. Yeah. You will hear me to be. And as I said, we mean you enter a body who the room. Yeah. Where you will be. So, challenger. What do you call my rock show? A box site, no? Rock show, what do you crown there? What do you mean 2 box site, 1 a headpan? What do you mean 3? Oh, and your money be a while, and I'm a farmer. We are there, one farmer. Okay. Send it back for you, but sure. The amount. But last but not the least, let me hear the phone. I said, Shay, Obaya, so what calls I went prison? Me, I Gregoria Poku, intermediate, Namina in Tintia. Oh, Shay, you be can ask him, I'll be to me. I am follow me near Baku Ibrahim. The Paya, your first way, you treaty prisoners. Obi o krampa ye na sema court e kwan a judge benya abotre atie na atimi adwa ntatie anya ne nso no onya abotre obi akoma ni sika etini focus nyina ne se akwa we kwan bia so so difo me makabida na me sa kabiem me metwa bribe ama judge da e free da me twa sa bribe no no me nu me hu no nipa na me ko twa bribe say ye mani ndi for no odi for enso me makuma mu no me hu say na me nam ndi for ba judge no a wo je bribe no yakopon enfa ne crazy e free sada no man respecting him biem sika na wo je free me ho no me lawyer na me call you lawyer no a very popular lawyer me money dey one na me call say ye ko twa bribe yes asem we dey me di for ye tua Bible no ma judge no waka ne create yakopon fa ne crazy ma mu judge ni biem afei na metimi free judge ni anyhow na metimi man ye useless because me orders no tie I just can't because I had the money to pay the sort of fridge crowd the freezer man so on turn am friendship now busa ho say sa nipa o tin sa wamu a wo ye judge what Jessica would not go to me. I was sign a bravo. If you know Dibimo, what Jessica and not go to me. What kept you there? It's the DNT quasi a resetting a femina judiciary in him say, media some qua. You be dear mammy. And now I know Mark and Kwan also dear some corner, Fred, assembly net
near Buan and net.
Near Buan and net. What Brian did you live your some to court? And if you're saying,
oh, man, for them.
Oh, and you know, my minute yet, sir, because you cannot say my own. I have better say a town, me and yet I own. Me dominate mind too much, send me who's will be proud my way here. Not I degenerate into a time. Because on my way, a more fair. I say what to quiet Kwama for Manswa. Now show my Ghana. You're too nice. Say you better allow for just partisan politics. Now you sell mine because of some parochial interests. Because of OBBB our penya, Obi who our penya, Obi more person de bois will be for favors in your manoma. Ebi kura would himself can be our Chief Justice can be in rule so. But because Ekuonaba and Eduaba betina want to know, I was said at all cost, Uye Bibina, Udi pleasing. Wabra or mine na asuma or my Juma na Oye, or my way Ekuonaba dia, and yet dia. It's a process.
Thank you.
A moment go through. Maybe Sebi, may you just a commentator.
Yeah.
Maybe I made the American crowd or Mama won't you. But Senko Tiemia, this Hadano, man respecting him, BM. She cannot or Jeffrey me honor. My lawyer, let me call you.
Yeah.
Lawyer, no, a very popular lawyer. I mean, money. One let me call say, Yanko Chia bribe, yes, I same way the different. You Chia bribe, no, my judge, no, what can it create? Yanko for the crazy. Me mu judge ni biem afei na metimi free judge ni anyhow na metimi money useless because me others no tie.
Yeah, I just can't
because I had the money to pay me start to afraid to cry the freezer man
nipa nko kura poma wo okwa retirement na bisansa brabo be na wabo. That is the thing. Oman na be avenue a few people capitalized on Niamane woman just to serve themselves. While majority of the people no continue to live in poverty. That is the Ghana we are celebrating today. So I think that today should be a day a sober reflection. Now you who say going forward, it's not going to be politics as usual. The narrative must change. Now the potential minor one, you making sure say you bet me leverage. Na ya my home the kind of way the new Ghana na you see because new Ghana resetting Ghana no and live in the rhetorics that we make, the political destiny that we make, but the commitment on our part as individuals are a bit me a project of mine. So Independence Day, the last time I catch you say it's good that President Mahama has slashed down on this excessive your friend saying parade in as for police for na soldier for na nyansa bia na school for na mewiem. It should be a day Ghana needs to have access to his Ghana flag. Now, on wave as a reminder, now intime I wake that sense of nationalism and patriotism in Ghana because sadly, no, it is no more there, and the excessive partisan activism, and I take it the center stage. There is nobody or rooting for Ghana, but this is the country So I think that the day is good. We celebrate for the sake of history, but it is a day as a morning, a sober reflection. Now you who said. Over the years, Ghana ni the last time I told you the desperation I don't know to free this country at the carbon thing seeking greener pasture when potential near my mukrum ye mineral regime and I know na meka ho asem ya oman ye too good ye bibia ye wo all that oman bia behia sebe ya obedi ye but unfortunately Arriving
now is the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana.